Hey friends, this is Kaiwan, and today I'm going to show you guys how to mint your first art. I'm going to take you with me. I've already minted a couple arts. I'm also going to be explaining what is the best platform for you to mint your first art. So in my previous video, I tried pretty much to explain everything you need to know about NFTs. So in this video, I'm going to dive in the technical side, how to mint your first art and what is the best platform for your art, the type of art you do, or in general, potentially where you can get in. Let's say you just finished your art or you've already have set of arts where you want to mint and you don't know where to start and how. First thing first, you need a digital wallet. In order to send your money or even receive money after you get your first sale or to do anything, basically, you have to have a digital wallet. Now, there are plenty of options when it comes to tokens or the type of crypto you want to add to your digital wallet, but the most popular and most used one is Ethereum. So I highly suggest you have at least some Ethereum to start with. And most platforms only accept Ethereum when it's come to minting your art. It is actually pretty easy to set up your wallet. There are actually a couple options when it's come to creating your digital wallet, but the most used and most popular one would be MetaMask. To download MetaMask, you have to go to metamask.io and make sure it's the right address or the right link so you don't actually get scammed. You also need Google Chrome browser installed in your laptop or your computer, and then you can use MetaMask as an extension. To mint your first art, it could be really confusing at the beginning. We have like plenty of options of platforms, and some of them are actually pretty difficult to get in, such as Super Rare, Maker's Place, Nifty Gateway, and Foundation. To actually get into one of these platforms, you have to fill up forms and submit, and it could take weeks or even months to get a response. And in my case, I am desperately waiting for the first 3 websites I mentioned. So if you guys are listening, please give me a chance. Now, luckily with Foundation, beside the filling form and submitting, you can actually invite other artists after you had your first sale. It is very similar as Clubhouse invitations. And thankfully, I got into Foundation. A friend of mine who is an amazing artist, Kevin, I admire his work, check him out on Instagram, was kind enough to give me his invitation. And honestly, I also want to do my part in this whole community thing where I can give my invitations back. Time to time, I get invitation codes. So check me out on Twitter and don't hesitate to share your work with me and get you into Foundation. But the bright side is there are also platforms that you can easily get in, such as Opensea, Rareable, and I think Mintable, and some other platform. I will put all the links down below where you can check them out so you can actually mint your first art without waiting on the line. Now here it could get a bit tricky, and you have to keep one thing in mind. In order to mint your art in the Ethereum network, you have to pay gas fees. Well, you might ask, what the hell is gas fees? Let me explain. Gas fees are pretty much the payments that are made by user to compensate for the computing energy required to process and validate transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. It also refers to gas limit, to the maximum amount of gas or energy that you're willing to spend on a particular transaction. Now, if that's not clear, let me put it this way. Think about a city with limited bus. There is a waiting list for all these people to get into these buses. The metaphor here is that the buses are basically transactions. The amount of transactions that are happening at that particular moment. So you as a passenger, you need to pay in order to get into one of these buses. And if you want to get in right away without any delays, you have to pay a little bit extra than the average price. So at this point, you might be wondering how much gas fees I need to pay. Now that we don't know. First, it depends on the platform that you're planning to mint your art, and second, it depends on the time and the date you're minting your first art. The average gas price is between $60 to $150. It used to be $10 or even less a year ago, but because there's a lot of transaction happening at the moment, a lot of people are minting their art, and with all the hype, it's kind of impossible to see that price again, but it's still worth to try it and experiment with it. And maybe one day we will get to a point where we have more buses than the actual people, but I think that's kind of impossible. Now, there is no way pretty much to avoid paying gas fees. But if you're on a budget, you can obviously start with OpenSea, where you can actually pay gas fees one time, and after that, You can pretty much mint as many art as you want, and then if the buyer wants one of your art, he has to pay for the gas fees, but it kind of makes sense if he's really interested in your art. Also, I heard with Mintable, you actually pay a very low amount of gas fees, but yeah, please do your own research and choose the right platform for your art. Oh, and one advice I can give you is actually try to make an account in pretty much every platform you see. Even if you don't get in as a creator, try to reserve the username, because potentially we see this might be the next Facebook or Instagram. These platforms are pretty much everywhere right now, so try to get the username for your artwork before someone else take it. All right guys, so now let's get to a part where you all been waiting for, where I'm going to showcase the process of minting my art. I'm gonna do it on Rarible and Foundation. These are the two platforms that I'm active on, so I do apologize if I'm not gonna be minting my art in any other platforms, but it's all about getting the idea of how to do it, and the process is pretty much the same for other platforms. All right, so let's get in. So here we are on Foundation, and I'm going to my creator dashboard. Here you can see all your sold, listed, and draft artwork. So I'm gonna scroll down a bit, and I'm going to mint this piece that I created yesterday. All right, so here you have title and description, so make sure to add both of them and double check, because once you mint it, you won't be able to change it. Okay, so we already mentioned that to mint your NFT, you have to pay gas fees, and the current gas fees is around $90 equivalent to Ethereum. So we will confirm and wait for a bit. Sometimes it could actually take a while for the transaction to happen, but eventually it will work. After that, make sure you put your reserve price. In my case, I will go for 0.7 Ethereum. Now, to list on Foundation as an auction and let people to bid on it, you have to pay gas fees again. Now, I'm not sure if it's the same thing for other platforms, but this is what I go through. So in total, I paid around $180 just to mint. And that's beside the fact that Foundation takes 50% commissions after you get your sale. Pretty much risk it for the biscuit. And in our case, it's one hell of a biscuit. So all right, so as you can see, it's officially here, and I feel like this gives me a perfect opportunity to plug this artwork. So if you're planning to collect some art, check me out. Now let's jump to Rarible, and as usual, we click create. Here we have two options, single and multiple. Single is for you if you want to have one edition of your artwork, and that would have more value, obviously. And multiple is for you if you want more than one edition. Let's go with single. So here you have the option if you'd like to sell, and this is in case if you just want to mint and not actually sell it, but I don't think you want to do that. And here we have instant sale price, that if you like to value your artwork without any auction and without anyone to bid on it. And make sure to check unlock once purchase if you have something to offer, like a print or high resolution photo. And after that, we have name and description, and then we have royalties. Now this is the commission you set for your secondary sale. So you can go up to 30% or even more, but I usually go with 10% or 15%. And that's it. You hit create item, you mint it, but in my case, I'm not gonna do it because I've already spent a lot today. And the process is pretty much the same for multiple. You just have to add how many edition you want to sell here on number of copies. So if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Please make sure to check out my minted art, and to be notified of my upcoming drops, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at it's Kaiwan, and I see you in the next one.